Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Barks, the one with fight. What do you mean Barks has fight? Johnny? What do you mean Barks has fight? Johnny? What do you mean Barks has fight? Oh, hey, man. What do you mean Barks has fight? Here, try some of this. Ouch. I haven't seen him that excited since he got his heel. Ouch. You tell him, Johnny. You tell the world.
That piece of 90s advertising gold can mean only one thing, a visit from Vancouver Giants GM Barclay Parneta. In fact, all of our guests today, as mentioned earlier, brought to you by the Vancouver Giants. They're at home to Kelowna on Friday. They're at Kelowna on Friday, at home to Kamloops Saturday. That is Nickelodeon night. SpongeBob and Patrick jerseys will be worn by the home team. Giants have won 10 of their last 12, 7 of their last 8. And joining us now, Giants GM Barclay Parneta, who I believe is in Calgary. Barclay, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
You're welcome. You tell the world, Donnie. You tell them. No, I'm in Springbank, Alberta here at the Edge. There's a super showcase in the CSSHL. So doing some scouting again.
How do you explain your team's success lately?
You know what? I think that the coaching staff has done a tremendous job. I think the players that we brought in as a group have all sort of fit in. We wanted to address the scoring, and I certainly think the guys that have come in have addressed that. And you know what? That we're injury-free more or less for the most part. That was a big part of what happened in the first half. We were missing some key players. You know, we had a 19-year-old return that we thought might have been out for the year, and then Sam Honzik, obviously, and with this sort of influx of the new guys, it's just made a good recipe here so far, and they're working hard at it.
Hey, Bark, it's tough to win without goaltending, and boy, do you got it. 20-year-old undrafted goaltender Brett Mirwald, 4 times the Western Hockey League Player of the Week. How nice to have a guy back there like that.
I mean, we've been spoiled in Vancouver in the last 6 years. We've really had a strong goaltending irregardless of what year, but Brett's done a terrific job. Like, I've said this before. Here's a kid who came in with no expectations last year. He literally just wanted to crack at it. He didn't walk into my office for 4 weeks and ask, hey, what's going on? Am I on the team? You know, and he just worked. And he's still the same. He's a zero-maintenance guy that just works at getting better. He's a leader in our room, and he's serious about becoming a pro goalie. And I'm really happy that the results are coming for him because he's really put a lot of time and effort into it.
Hey, Bark,
you commend Paul Fricker as well on that.
Yeah, the goalie coach. You got a 16-year-old, Cameron Schmidt, 19 goals. The record is Gilbert Brulé at 25. Evander Kane, I think, had 24 as a 16-year-old. Boy, there's 13 games left. I don't know if he's going to make it, but it's a pretty good campaign by a 16-year-old.
Look, this guy is worth the price of admission. He's just the things he's starting to do now that he's learning the defensive side of the game, not necessarily just jumping and going all the time. He is an exciting, electric guy. He has a chance, there's no doubt. I mean, he gets 1 or 2 breakaways every single game somehow. So he's going to push. He'll push for that record, and as long as he stays focused on the defensive side of things, those opportunities are going to keep coming for him. That's so many of these kids don't get. They're always the best players where they come from. But when you get to our league, and I'm not saying Cameron didn't know this, but the defensive aspect is so important because the coaches don't put you on the ice unless you can play in your own end. So those opportunities aren't there. So he's done a heck of a job at adjusting and really honing in on those sort of details in our own zone.
Barclay, before we let you go, I want to get your thoughts on this. Archie Baines is taking line rushes this morning, Canucks morning skate with Miller and Besser. He makes his NHL debut with the Canucks on Tuesday. It was impressive, over 13 minutes of ice time. What do you remember about Archdeep and his days with Red Deer? And maybe you scouted him back in the day.
We did, yeah. No, you know what? He always had a tremendous skill set, and obviously the role he's playing there isn't quite the same, but if he's skating with those guys, they see that. He always was a creative guy that always found a way to get on the score sheet. So, and he always had a good work ethic. Like, he really worked hard even at a young age. So, but, yeah, that can put some time and effort in, and Red Deer did a heck of a job sort of developing through, and everybody's path's a little different, right? Some guys get signed, some guys are drafted, and it's just hope for everybody that, you know what, like, even for Brett Mirwald, who's 20, like, it does happen still. It still comes, whether you're signed or drafted. Because I think he was signed by the Canucks, was he not, as an overage in Red Deer?
Yep. Barclay, thanks for this. Appreciate it. Giants at Kelowna Friday. It's Nickelodeon night on Saturday. The SpongeBob Patrick uniform Saturday as you take on Kamloops. Thanks so much for this.
Thanks, guys. Love SpongeBob. Love SpongeBob. That's good stuff.
I knew you would.
I knew you would.
All right. Okay, bye.
Who doesn't? Barclay Parneta. I've said it once. I've said it before. I said it earlier in this show. Growing up versus Barney, SpongeBob. Come on. Barney was my favorite show to watch with
Barney,
the kids.
that guy, the dinosaur?
Yeah.
Oh, he drove me nuts.